getting into this, it's gonna be a really, really good game, isn't it, Eames? We've got we've got two masterminds of team leaders. We've got these Goliath teams in the Euro scene at the moment, and it's going to be interesting. We've got Se7en versus Ascent. Shall we run through the rosters, just have a quick chat about that?
Sure, let's do it. I would take Ascent since I just played against them. They're pretty good. They've got some, they've got one certain player named Credo who's just kind of doesn't really miss on scouts, so it's kind of difficult playing against him. I think at one point in the map I was just playing, we won a mid, it was 4v3 or something like that, and both our scouts tried to 1v1 Credo and they both died to him, so he's that kind of player. But yeah, the roster is Credo and Ams on scout, Drac and Silentes on soldier, Dr. Phil on demo, and Connor or Condog on medic.
Yeah, and what a roster that is. One thing I really want to talk about is just the Silentes Drac combo at the moment. I would say they're one of the strongest in Prem. Would you agree on that, Silentes and Drac?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, they're both extremely experienced soldiers. Like when I went to my very first LAN, I was a big newbie. It was Drac and Sil played in the final, and they were both absolutely insane on the full tilt and crowns, respectively. So they've been at the top of the game for
that was a match and a half,
a very long time.
That was that was when Silentes was partnered up with MGE Mike, wasn't it?
Yeah,
on full tilt. What? Silentes, that LAN went absolutely ham. He was the best soldier of that LAN, hands down. That was an absolutely amazing performance from him.
Yeah, he was. I remember him saying in one of the interviews, "Well, you can't lose if you don't miss." So
yeah.
when they beat Froyo, I think. So that was. I guess that summed it up pretty well.
Yeah, I think that is the best way to kind of sum up Silentes as a whole. Drac is no stranger to the high game as well. And then we've got another legend of the game on demo, which is Dr. Phil, who has been the Lego legend that he's been for the past... How long was he in? How many seasons was he in Lego for?
Countless years,
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And he's been playing at a high level for a long old time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that has been very, very, very interesting to see. And then they've got Connor on medic.
They do. Connor's
a double-edged knife, I kind of think.
I think he used to be back when he played with a lot of the Nunya teams, and he would sort of make a team with two Pasta DM scouts and Lucas for half a season and then forward pretty much like 3 seasons in a row. Back then, he was kind of. He had good mechanics, but he would just drop all the time because he was a bit of an idiot. But I think now he's playing in a lot more serious team. He's kind of calmed down a bit, stopped doing such like he doesn't go for crazy like outplays every single time. He just uses mechanics when he needs to. So I think he's become a lot wiser in the past like season and a half since playing with Ascent.
Yeah, when I mean like a double-edged knife, I feel like he gets a lot of stick. He's like the current day Raptor. It's like the medic that kind of gets a bit too much hate here and there for like dropping and stuff like that, but has come an incredibly long way like since the Nunya days. But yeah, so we've waffled on about Ascent for a little bit, so let's bring it in for their opponents, which are an incredible team. It's Se7en, and I'm just going to run through the current roster, which is Tiger and Thalash on scouts. We have Captain and Starkey playing soldiers, Cadus returning to the demo, and then we have Raymond on med. It's a pretty standout roster, but it's one that hasn't changed for a long while. I know there's been changes here and there, but they've played together for so long as a unit, haven't they?
Yeah, they have indeed, and slightly different variations, but they've had a core of players who have just been around playing together for a very long time, and this could be one of the greatest rosters they've ever had. With Tiger and Scout, and all the boys back. Captain, he's been a legend on Soldier for ever and ever, and it's really good to see him back on the roll. As I'm actually just watching him in pre-game, and he's just not missing. It's like, goddamn.
He just doesn't. Doesn't. And one really cool thing, especially about Captain and Starkey, is they're heighted, they're renowned jumpers. They've both held world records in certain maps, and they do a lot of trick jumping and stuff like that, which, you know, sounds all well and good, but it just means that Starkey, for example, sometimes just comes out of nowhere onto your medic with his ability to jump around the map, and it can be very terrifying because Captain isn't as flashy with his jumps, but he's so consistent with where he positions himself and where he ends up that if you're trying to push in onto him or anything like that, he's always where he needs to be. And it's very difficult to handle a player like that who's always like on point all the time.
Yeah, the difference between a lot of, like, you know, a general Prem soldier and captain is, well, one of the differences is that pretty much every rocket jump captain does will go, like, you know, just a decent amount further because he's so fucking good at jumping. Sorry, excuse my French. But he'll C-tap it and he'll hit it just absolutely perfectly so that he just gets that extra distance, and it makes him so much harder to kill and so much more effective when he's trying to chase people and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I've seen both of them do some very good snake water plays. Like, Se7en aren't renowned for being the strongest on snake water, but I feel like both Captain and Starkey really come alive on that map. So it's kind of a double-edged knife with that. And then going back to like Tiger and Thalash has been on the roster playing with Captain or around Captain for a long old time, as well as Raymond and as well as Cadus. Yep. So him, Credu and Tiger are always battling for the best sniper in Prem. I always find that's why we seem to get to them. Amazing sniper plays. Like back at I-63, I remember the play they did where if you remember it, they opened
you casted it with Umbrak, didn't you?
Yeah. And then we both said at the same time, "Oh, that's exactly what they would do." And it was to put the scout just in front of the sewer door and let the sniper snipe through, and they dropped Cookie Jake, and it was a really, really good play. And I feel like that's something that should always be taken into account, especially with your scouts, is having brainy scouts. Like, you can have the pasta brain scout, the DM scout, and if they get into a decent position by accident, you know, they can absolutely crush. But having two scouts that know how to play, know where to be, and are really good at dealing with everything that anyone else throws at them, it can be terrifying for some teams, just having that amount of pressure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, particularly for Se7en, you've got kind of the yin and yang of scout in Thalash and Tiger, because Thalash is like, he's extremely smart. He's very, very good at knowing exactly where the enemies trying to get onto Raymond will be and predicting them, and, you know, just keeping Raymond safe throughout the game. And then you have Tiger, who is just an absolute, you know, he's a chaos scout often. He'll go for, like, he'll just kind of push people when they're not expecting it, and he's very, very good at one-running soldiers in particular. And they work pretty well off each other because, you know, Tiger just has a lot of free reign to go aggressive, that kind of thing. And Thalash does all the clean-up work and all the boring but necessary jobs. Although, to be fair, you have, I mean, obviously the pocket scout is always the passive one, and the flank scout is always the aggressive one, but it's not exactly the same on Ascent. I would say they have less clear-cut roles than Tiger and Thalash in their scouts.
Yeah, and I think it's like you said, it's a yin and yang, but it's one of those perfect yin and yangs where they really, like, their differences in playstyle complement each other when they are playing together and with their team. So I feel like that's genuinely a really good thing. And then you've got Raymond on the medic, and Raymond's renowned for years as well, like hands down one of the strongest medics. So I would hazard to say, like, there was a point where when Raymond was really, really playing, that he was the best medic to ever touch the game. Like, when he was just completely on fire, there was, and I know a lot of people say Shade is also an amazing medic, which he is, but I just think Raymond's knowledge, positioning, and reading of situations as med is phenomenal. Like, ridiculously good.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he used to maybe go for slightly more flashy plays than he did now. But definitely, he's a cerebral player. He knows what's going on before it happens most of the time, and is able to make escapes that you wouldn't always have expected from him.
Yeah, it's weird, like, how woke Raymond can be. Do you get what I mean? It's like sometimes you'll think, how, something will be coming from an angle that he can't see, and he'll just move out the way, and it's like the response time to actually react to that is ridiculous. Like, you'd have to be ridiculously like superhuman to react the way he does. And I think he just like has this third eye that can see extra parts of the map.
It's a medic spidey sense,
Yeah.
You always have that
coming.
feeling when you're getting bombed. Like you saw a soldier go behind like 10 seconds ago, and you just know he's almost certainly probably been in the back of your mind tracking his movement, and then you know that he's probably in now. So you're gonna do a weird little wiggle and try and make him miss. So that's the kind of thing you do when you're a Prem medic.
Yeah. Have we have spoke about Kado, have we?
We haven't actually.
No, we haven't. Like the mastermind himself, Kado. Like, what's there to say about him that really hasn't been said before? Like he knows how to run a team. Like he really knows how to run a team.
Yeah, he's obviously with Kado's, his main strength has always been his main calling. He's probably he's definitely the best, most established team leader in Europe probably ever. He knows how to play. Not only the certain situation, like technically, but also how to play in a match setting. Like, what's the best kind of? Should we take risks now? Should we not? And always he fulfills his role within the team very well. He knows, obviously, having played with the rest of this team for, particularly the bond between Raymond, Delash, and Kadis has been very, very long established. But he knows exactly how to play off them and what he has to do in order to like make their lives easier. So they work pretty well together.
They really, really do. And he's developed a complete play style that has kind of taken over. Well, it was taking over for a bit. You were breaking the mold on our Electra last season, but it was a very slow, methodical way of playing TF2. The kind of Se7en got renowned for, like the turtle holds and parking the bus all the time. And I'd say lately, it feels like Se7en have really embraced Tiger and his play style, and they've seemed to play a lot more aggressive than we've previously seen out of them.
Yeah, I suppose so. I don't think, honestly, I think they've had a somewhat unfair reputation since like the back in the way old days with Crowns, where they probably were a bit slower, but like nowadays they're not really that much of a slow team at all. Like they will go for, they don't take crazy risks, but they don't particularly play that slowly. But just going back to what you said about or Electra being different from Se7en, that's actually interesting that you say that because, you might remember sometime last year, in about March, April time, basically Se7en was so dominant at that point that no one wanted to scrim them, and essentially we would just scrim them. We were like the only team that would scrim them. And over that period, we were playing them so many times that we essentially just copied so many of their strats because they're so effective, and so we're not actually. I mean, a lot of like the last Eemes that I would do is just I just saw Kato see that, so that's why I do. So there you go.
It's not bad to be like Cadis does it, so I should do it because he's proven time and time again. We've just got through the tannoy here that is Wiethoofd a score for the current match that's playing, which is the losers bracket. What would we call it? Third place like final, and it's Swift versus. Oh god, I forgot the other name. Fate. Thank you. And what was the score again? Okay. Oh, it's on screen. It's 1-2. Sorry, I didn't actually hear it. Yeah, Fate are winning. Are you surprised?
I am surprised.
They have got Pappy on the rhythm though.
Yeah. Wait, you said Fate are winning?
Yeah. Oh no, wait.
Swift has Pappy.
No! My bad. My bad.
What map is it, Zuri? Wow, okay. That's interesting. That's fascinating.
Swift has Pappy, or
Swift has Pappy, yes, and they're playing Venary, and
it's Polygon. Wait, have you done?
Hold on, I'm super confused now.
Oh my! Wait. I swear Pappy on the rhythm plays for Fane. Yeah, he does. He does.
What? No, he doesn't.
Wait, what?
Pappy plays the Swift.
I'm confused.
I literally just played with him on Swift for like 5 maps.
Yeah, he does.
All right. Anyway, we are starting pretty soon. So,
I got so confused.
We are live now, so let's look forward to it.
Yeah, we got really confused, and we are going live for the ESL Grand Final between Se7en and Ascent. I'm GrumpyKoi. I'm joined by Wiethoofd on production, and Eemes is my co-caster. And we will be coming into this first mid with Cadis a little bit quicker than Dr. Phil, but damage is being exchanged. We see Drac bomb really nicely over the top now. Captain's up in Seagull. He's going to get cleaned up so quickly, but look at this aggression coming out from all the players on Ascent. They just pushed them so far back, got 3 frags, and they're gone. Like, what was that play Cadis was doing? That was really aggressive on the left-hand side there, but they weren't able to catch anyone out.
I think what happened was they knew that that Ascent were running out of sniper to mid, so Creddy just sitting in choke sniping, because, I mean, it's a pretty good strat for Ascent, really, because if you have probably the best sniper in Europe, you may as well use him, particularly on this map with such good sightlines. Captain tried to play very aggressive onto their choke, but he didn't realise that Drac had rolled out fast and basically just jumped behind him and 2-rocketed him. And then Cadis was playing aggressive, but he couldn't really do anything because his soldier wasn't with him, and yeah, so basically they tried to counter the sniper, but it didn't really work at all, so they're unlost.
Yeah, they are going to be looking for some angles on Se7en. Raymond holding very, very close. I really like this position that a lot of meds take in any situation.
It is hard. Oh my god, huge rocket from himself.
Do you know what I was about to say? It makes it hard for soldiers to bomb them.
Well, it would have been, but the sentry wasn't actually up at that point. He was just relaying it on the ground. So there was no protection at all. Raymond just tragically dropping there. I'm just going to get a lot of cap on my point here, and this is looking like a really hard last push, as Credu has hit a headshot. And yeah, Ascent just kind of tearing apart Se7en there. I mean, it was very, very nice timing from Sil. He bombed just as Thalash moved the sentry. So there's basically no cover for Raymond at all.
Yeah, and that was really, really, really good. So Salentes just hard read the whole situation. Like you mentioned earlier, it's usually a sentry on the point that really protects the med, but it wasn't set up at the time. But coming into the second mid, and again, Phil and Cadis are exchanging damage. Now we're going to see Salentes doing a big bomb, trying to cause some damage. Whilst that's happening, Captain's actually in the background, but they lose 2 as both the soldiers down for Se7en. Ascent can chase them really, really nicely here, and that's going to be the second mid going to Ascent.
Yeah, I really like this play from the Ascent soldiers. Sil faked a high bomb, but then just counter-jumped the other soldier on his side. Drag didn't play aggressive at all, so basically just not allowing their soldiers to die meant that they won that mid pretty much for free, as the 7 soldiers just kind of fed. And Ascent will be trying to prod this choke here, but the spawners are up. Drag's going to go in for a sack, but yeah, not too much happening there, so it will just be a reset here.
Yes. Nice try from Jack, who's trying to just get over, but sadly he got picked up. But Salentes getting bullied out as Se7en are looking to come in. They've got quite a lot of space right now, Eemes. Salentes taking a lot of damage on top. It's going to get cleaned up by Captain. And now Ams pushing across with the Uber. Gets separated from Connor. Connor's all on his own. He lost it the whole play. I think Ams was just looking to go straight in on them. They're not able to do so. And they're going to get bullied out by Se7en there.
Yeah, I really didn't like this play from Dr. Phil here. I mean, there was a 5v6 fight, but as demo in that situation, you really have to just try and deny the ground from Se7en. And he was playing so passive, just waiting for Ams to take the trade, that he just really had no effect on the fight. And basically allowed, I mean, obviously the trade was pretty terrible anyway, but like they kind of just let Se7en in there, even though they only had 1 pick down. So it's kind of a missed opportunity from Ascent there. They could have held mid easily if they'd done it properly.
And Se7en are actually going to come in through 4. They're going to use this Uber to get down that sentry gun. They're baiting a little bit of time onto the point, but not enough, as they do clean up Drac on the point. They're looking to put someone on right now, start the cap, but they're losing a lot of point presence as Credu, last surviving member of his team, Starkey doing some really good work to just bully them out. And finally, that's going to be a round to Se7en. Well played by Starkey there.
Yeah, it was a pretty nice push. They caught out one. Cadis went quite aggressive to catch out that one player, and he very, very nearly died to Ams. Cadis was like 10 HP juking him around, and then I think Captain just 2-rocketed him, saving Cadis' life and getting the free frag, and it was just pretty much a win from there, having got the early picks. But yeah, quite back and forth here, but this third mid should be pretty interesting.
Yeah, both Cadus and Phil actually arrived kind of late to mid, but Se7en's again doing the big play, trying to cause some sort of distraction, and it's meant that a lot of Ascent players can do a lot of damage onto the Se7en people. Credu actually went sniper to mid and got Raymond. Flash going down. They've got no heals. Tiger super low, does end up going down to Eemes, and with Cadus and Captain so low, Drax going to try and pick up a player here, and oh, nice movement from Captain to get out there. That was pretty risky.
It was. Oh wow, he doesn't even get out.
Never mind.
Eemes chases him all the way to spawn. That's absolutely tragic. And this means that Ascent will be able to take two in aggressively through one. There's so much space here. And Credu will get another frag to Flash on heavies. This is looking like a great last push for Ascent. Drac has gone in deep onto Raymond. Raymond's so weak and he will crater, but they haven't actually gone second yet. Ascent will finally cap it, and this looks like a pretty effective last push for Ascent here.
Yeah, they just need to start cleaning up players. Captain on the point, trying to be the last bastion of hope, not able to do so. And, you know, it's nice to see these teams going round for round right now. They are trading blows, but no one's really coming out on top as a whole.
Yeah, it's very interesting from Ascent. They went sniper to mid first mid, not on the second, and they did sniper to mid on the third mid. So and they have actually gone it again. They seem to think that this is an effective strat. Last mid we saw Sil do a really high bomb and get so much damage onto the blue side that there was just nothing they could have done. As we'll see what happens this mid. Drac is going to go pretty aggressive onto Captain. Captain is so weak on right side, but they both do actually live, and just kind of slow fight this mid.
Yeah, and Ascent, I think, waited a bit too long to actually come in and just lost all of this positioning, and Connor staying alive pretty nicely. Gonna get cleaned up though as the rest of the Ascent players do start to fall. Se7en's the only one left. He's trying to see if he can get on the Raymond, unable to do so, and that's going to be a wipe for Ascent on that mid. Eemes.
We do see Tiger taunting that. I honestly don't agree with that, to be honest, because I mean, at this point in time, it's kind of of the essence. They want to get to last before Connor gets a decent Uber advantage. But what we saw there from Se7en was them rolling out 3 fast. So they buffed. They didn't do the escape plan rollout. They got both of their soldiers to do the fast rollout and landed on top. And that meant they had a lot of space, particularly as there's no scout to contest them. And they kind of just used that to bully Ascent out of mid, as they will be coming into this last, probably from lobby, with a solid 65% ad.
Yeah, they're going to be rotating, looking for an angle to start going in. It's time, and Cadus is going to go on the right hand side. They know the sentry gun's going to be there. Eemes is trying to rotate it. I don't know if he's going to come back out of spawn as Se7en goes on to Cadus, but Cadus isn't having any of it. Rotates to the left hand side with his team. Does end up going down to Credu though. Credu's not even being contested at all. This is a pretty tragic last push. If they're not able to clean this up anytime soon, it's going to get really hard for them, as Tiger actually just reads the situation really nicely, gets Connor, gonna have Uber ad. They can back out though, they don't need to be in.
But Tiger will not back out. Tiger does not fear Credu. He's going to go so aggressive. Credu's actually super weak. He pushes him out on heavy. They might actually try and repush it. Tiger's in, he gets the heavy. He's making a lot of space if he will go down to Eemes. But that was an absolutely chaotic last push. Cadus tried to jump into a heavy after the Uber, kind of just fed. And then there was just a very scrappy fight on right side, but at the end of it, Se7en are able to just dry push in here with no one close to the chokes. It's looking fairly decent for them. Killers get a lot of damage onto the engineer, but they are just going to back out and decide, think better of it and wait for the Uber, but maybe not. They are coming in again. Grumpy is too much.
They're coming, they're in and they're out, hands up and hands down, but never mind, they're getting Cadus, and now they're going to be able to really be bullied out, but no, they're doing pretty well on it. No, track goes down. Oh, they've just played point perfectly there.
What on your code? You're in and you're out.
I was actually doing the it's not the lyrics to it, but the rolling thing. I move in, I move out, hands up, hands. Anyway.
Okay.
Back to the video game.
So Ascent still rolling Credu out on sniper in this mid, and we'll see if they can try and maintain a bit more space this time. But I'm expecting the 7 soldiers to bomb quite aggressively on this mid.
Yeah. But just back on that last push, that was really well done by Se7en. We'll have a chat about that if things fizzle off. But right now, Se7en does a nice distraction. Drag gets up on the high ground and is able to deal a lot of damage to players. And 7 players do start dropping as Captain's trapped in as well. Starkey's in the background. And that, if he goes down, that's going to be a wipe. But really well played by Ascent there. Just using distraction plays to the most effective way possible. I love it.
Kind of that, and also, I mean, they just blobbed. Like, I think that one of their soldiers rolled out IT to make sure no one can get behind, and they there was just no opportunity for the soldiers on Se7en to make any space or chaos, because there was basically nowhere, they couldn't get behind at all because Ascent was so far back, and they were just a blob that you can't really go into, as they were pushing right side trying to make space for their sniper, and with a headshot onto Cadis. Oh, but Connor has actually dropped to Thalash. That's actually huge, but they will get a lot of cap time onto point here with Cadis dead, and they will actually just cap it off. Oh my god.
Ascent just using as much, they just didn't give him a chance. Yeah. They didn't give him a chance to hold back. They were straight into last, and they were already barreling down on them before they got any sort of defense. But just quickly on the last push before, Se7en just proved how good they are at playing point, just bullying people off the point, cycling their players in and out, and it just worked really well for them. But coming into this 6th mid, actually, so many rounds being played. Slender's big bomb on a Cadis. Cadis goes super low. Captain's already down from some nice pipes from Dr. Pill. And we're going to see... I did call him Dr. Pill, by the way, on purpose.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're going to be able to move forward. And that was a good mid. Another really good mid team.
Yeah, definitely. Although we do see Talash, what he's renowned for, just with Raymond all the way in spawn at the moment. A huge advantage for them to be able to come into 2nd tier now. And probably mid as well. But I mean, almost every single mid we've seen so far, Till has done a high bomb off his side, basically the Banny bomb onto the enemy's pack, and he's done so much damage. He did like 150 damage to Cadis there. Cadis eventually gets cleaned up, and just like, he's really not being denied very well because he's going so high and just hitting really nice direct, so it's really nicely played by him, even though he's... actually, no, he's not the only Sully, is he? But whatever. It's, yeah, a lot of space made by him on mid.
Yeah, and more importantly right now for the situation, Raymond does have Uber, but they really not want to use it in any way during pushing onto mid because it will just put them in disadvantage. But they do lose Captain. Drax got in really hard onto Cadis. Cadis ends up going down to a return rocket from Salentes, and they're able to bully players out, but they've lost quite a lot. I'm surprised they're still pushing this. Like, they want to reserve this Uber because it's so close right now, and they're going to have to use in. They're going to try and catch Connor out. They managed to get Dr. Phil. They're not going to get anyone else as their Uber does fade, and they're going to get mid, but they're probably going to lose it again by Connor just going forward with his team. Actually, Eemes is in.
Yeah, Credit really has just been killing everyone there, but I mean, really what we saw, Cadis and his team were trying to take their Uber and just take a lot of space with it without using, but Ascent held so close that Captain and Cadis just got cleaned up when they tried to walk in. So Ascent really just kind of BMing their Uber, calling their bluff, and knowing that because Se7en don't want to pop, they can just play close and kill those players who come in early because they're not going to get Ubered. So really nicely played by Ascent.
No, they do get a pick off Captain, which even though they've had the Uber forced, means that they have got an opportunity to get Credo into a nice position. He is currently looking at 1, but Tiger spotted him out, trying to pepper him away, and it's going to be a bit of a disad hold against disad offense for Ascent. Se7en are going to have that Uber very, very soonly, and they need to... I think what they're going to try and do here is they're going to force it as soon as possible, back out and see if they can re-aggress them with any players that they kill post-Uber.
Yeah, they have Ubered through here. Cadis is going to get hella bubbled by his Phil's sticky trap. He's going so deep anyway. He's also damage onto the choke. Only still will go down. Cadis is chasing though. He's in so deep. He goes for Philly. We'll get a nice frag there, but it's only a trade. And Ascent should be able to just walk back in here pretty much with decent health and a huge Uber advantage. Trading 2 for 2 with your Uber ad is not really too good. As the both soldiers will bomb deep onto Connor. They get huge frags actually because of the sniper on Credu, and really, wow, that's crazy, really nice aggression from Se7en before Connor even got Uber.
Yeah, well played. Nice reaction time from Captain and Starkey there, just knowing to go in and just get that med at all costs. And they did risk, losing players to the scouts, but they were able to get on to Credu, remove him from the situation, and once they got Connor, they got mid from it, so good plays from them.
Once again, we see the disadvantage of Sniper. When if you can full commit into a team with a Sniper and he doesn't headshot anyone, then you basically just going to completely win that fight, because with both soldiers bombing, there's no way Eemes with just one scout alone can deny them. And yeah, just Se7en really knowing that even though they were close to Uber, they didn't have it yet, and they could just commit into them really aggressively. So it's really nicely played by them, as they will come in from lobby here with this pretty big Uber advantage.
Yep, they're coming in on the left-hand side. Nice milking from Raymond. He doesn't risk using it too early, as they do use it whilst walking across the right side of the point. They do get that sentry gun down, and now they just have to deal with the Ascent players who are sacking onto them. They have lost 1, but they're able to deal so much damage onto them, but they've fallen like flies. Raymond is completely caught out with Eemes there. Thalash is trying to win the 1v1, able to do so. And the captain actually is hiding right now. I don't know if they know he's there. He's going to try and put some pressure onto Phil. But whilst that's happening, they're distracted really nicely for more point play. Captain goes in, gets one, gets
Captain.
two. Oh.
But this is surely a push for Se7en now, as so many spawners on Ascent. They've just slowly grinded out with these frags with no heals. And really, Captain absolutely won them that push just by... I mean, it was a kind of even fight there, but he just sneaks in over top and 2 rockets Connor, and then all the fights after that, I mean, there's basically just no heals for Ascent, so they just slowly... In the grinding fight, they just lose out because Raymond's healing, Connor is not.
Put it simply, but that's exactly how they won. One thing I really liked about that as well, Eemes, is that play from Captain, even though it seemed like a last-ditch attempt, actually helped his team secure the victory. Because they were all preoccupied with Captain. They were able to just come back in and deal so much damage and put so much time on point. But coming into this 7th mid, Phil gets picked up very, very quickly. Captain also trades with him. But right now, Se7en are looking pretty strong. They do lose Cadus, but Connor's trapped in. He's going to get cleaned up by Thalash. Or Starkey, or whoever just bombed onto him and killed him. Credit's going to be the last one to drop, and to be honest, that was very well played by Se7en once again.
Yeah, this I think is the first time Se7en have been ahead, potentially, in this map, if they are able to secure this Uber advantage. It's 3-3 now. It was very unfortunate. Drak got a lot of damage onto Cadus with a bomb, but he wasn't able to finish him off, and then he just kind of was so weak that he ended up dying and not really making any space for his team. Starkey went behind in IT, all the way behind, which got some pretty good distraction, I think, on Ascent, and it meant they just kind of crumbled in the end of the mid. And yeah, we see another last push. Will they try and kill Connor this push instead of actually trying to frag out the whole team? Potentially, that's what they've done before.
We will see, as they are looking to go in. They're just about used Uber now, just as the sentry gun came out. Cadus blocking out that left-hand side, but Se7en's going for the block. Able to do a little bit, but there's so much time on the points. That's going to be 4-3.
So, interesting that we see a completely different last push from Se7en. They basically just allowed Cadus to just take so much space on point with the Uber, and then pretty much just put 6 players in and around point, and they just Phil can't do enough damage there to make sure they can't cap. So it's just they just kind of bully them out and stack the point. A very, very simple last push, but very effective.
And I think this is the first time this this game where Se7en are actually in the lead, as Phil gets picked up very, very quickly by Captain's very nice bomb onto him. And they're pushing on this left-hand side. They're trying to trap out players now. They know they haven't got their demo to deal that much damage. So they do pick up Se7en, but actually they do lose their players to other people as Eemes picks up Raymond, and they're just collapsing on the Se7en boys. Captain trying to go in onto Connor. Connor gets super low, but surfs away.
Oh no!
Cadus was hiding.
Oh, huge pipe! Wow, that was a crazy clutch pipe from Cadus, actually. Where it was really nice. Captain's just doing so much work at the moment, killing Phil on that mid, which basically gave it to Se7en. But they kind of what they messed up there was Drak jumped behind and 2-rocketed Thalash, and then he was on the high ground and just making so much difficulty for Se7en that they really couldn't do anything to. Well, they lost out the scrappy DM fight because basically Drak just had so much impact. So yeah, really nicely played by Drak, to be honest.
That's what Drak does best. He's so good at applying pressure. And right now, Captain's super low. Cadus has just gone right over the top. He's completely separated from his team, but doesn't matter as Ascent's falling left, right, and center. Eemes is super low. He's going to try and get away, but Starkey's there for the cleanup. Only Connor and Credu left. They're going to have to make a beeline to last. You haven't. That's kind of the problem with not having a scout, though. Is even though Connor did get out, like a scout would be able to get the men out so much quicker.
But both soldiers did just get forwards there, and they both launch out the spawn and do finally get rockets onto Raymond to get the frag. But there are quite long spawns for both those soldiers and Credu here, so it might be possible for Se7en to mount an aggressive last push if they do decide to, but actually they're going to think better of it. Probably a wise decision because they are up around here. They don't want to really commit to anything they don't need to, and they will probably be able to hold second, although it is a decent advantage for Ascent.
Yeah, right now I'm loving this game, Eemes. I don't even know who's going to win. It's been so neck and neck so far, as Thalash and Captain deal so many damages,
yeah.
To all of the Ascent players that forces them out. They're going to all be beelining, trying to hold some sort of defense right now. And as they lose Credit trades and gets Raymond, but I don't think it's going to be enough, as Phil, last one attempted to hold it. And that's going to actually put a 2-round lead to
I mean, that's the second time that Connor has been pushing with Uber advantage, but it's been about 80%, and Se7en have just said, no, you don't have Uber yet, we don't have to fear you at all, and they just walked straight into them. Connor went down instantly, and there was just no hope for Ascent because they just got crushed in the chokes. Really nice Uber counting, basically, by Se7en.
Yeah, really well played, and Phil is very late to the mid, and Captain's going to take full advantage of that, dealing some really nice damage onto the players who just came through choke. Captain's going to be the first one to fall though, but he does trade with Phil. Starkey's got in the background, not able to connect on anyone. He's going to end up going down, but still slide the play. Did you see that?
Yeah, wow. Huge head drop.
Credo.
Oh no, Cadus, he will kill Connor again. Wow, Cadus has really got his number. Cadus has been making so many crazy just like jump in and make the hero play jumps, I guess. But that's, I mean, basically that mid, Se7en pushing over left, and they got a lot of room, but Drac and a lot of the rest of the Ascent just stood on top on their right side, and they just ceded so much ground that they couldn't really win, even though they pushed over left quite effectively.
Yes, and Ascent Eames are now in a position where they can start looking at an opportunity to go forward. They have got crits actually, so this will be very big, but Raymond's building very quickly. What's he on? Is he on crits as well? No, he's on Uber. He's building so quickly that I don't feel like Ascent are going to have too much of an advantage, but the quick bomb in from Captain already deals a lot of damage to the Ascent players. Cadus going to pick up Eemes, and Salenta's trapped in, gets cleaned up as well. They have lost a lot of players. Phil and Creddy need to get back. They're not going to be able to hold anything else.
That's another example of Ascent opting to do this dry push before they get Uber, and I don't really like it because his loft players, his crits is going to be really difficult for them, but Phil has to hit some crazy stickies now. They're walking in right side, they will use, he's going to shoot into spawn and completely miss, and he is actually going to get completely destroyed by Captain. Captain really having Phil's number in this game, and that's absolutely rough from Ascent. I mean, they shouldn't have done the dry push before the crits, they should have just gone 6v6 when they had ad.
Yeah, they really should have just played off the any ad that they could have get, because if it was like 90% on Raymond, you could still easily get him on that. But sadly, they went a bit too early. They kind of just bled so many players, and Salentis is in the background distracting the Se7en roster, but there's no one really to defend this mid at all. Salentis is going to go for a play onto Raymond. Doesn't connect it.
I'm not quite sure who rocketed him into the air there, but it was a pretty nice denial air shot. Se7en will be walking through top IT here, I think. Pretty much no position for Ascent at all, and Draxton try and go for the force. They do have sticks there though, so if they do poke through aggressively, he's actually got both of them stick. Phil with a pretty nice read onto him, but he just does miss the det. So Se7en's still going to be able to take this IT, probably without using, and they could go to last hit with a 30% advantage if they're quick.
There is a sentry gun on point that Credo's made, so that's an opportunity to deny them a little bit, and it does suspend Cadus a little bit, but not really slow them down as they're trying to just get control of this right side of last. Drax going to get picked up, Starkey's going to go down as well. They're trading players, but no one's really winning. The Uber's gone in on to Raymond. Raymond is trying to juke the best, but he's not able to do so. They're going to start losing a lot of Se7en players here, and that was well done from Ascent to just stay alive long enough to get the Uber.
Yeah, it was very close to the same problem. Eemes went quite aggressive when Connor was at like 96. Could have been a big disaster, but yeah, Connor does get the Uber and they will get cleaned up, so Se7en not able to make too much of that 25% advantage. And the ball is now back in Ascent's court. They could probably make this dry push into bid without Cadus, but they're going to need to make it quite cleanly if they're going to... I mean, they're 2 rounds down, they need to start making up the numbers quite quickly now.
Yep, and Thalash is actually in forward spawn, so Creddy's going to try and deal with that, deny him. Starkey's going to go down. They've pushed all the Se7en players out of mid, but they're on second. They've got a decent hold there, so they're going to really have to try and get something out of it, as Thalash was in a perfect position to maybe catch Connor out, but not able to do so. Tiger's going to get picked up. They're just checking around. I thought they were checking for a spy then. I got well confused.
But no, they're going to come here, but it's very tiny, and Doreen is 95, so he's probably going to get this, and yeah, they've Ubered in, but he will actually get it, so it's going to be a nice counter Uber from Se7en onto them. Stark has it on the down, but Sil will also die, and it's basically just a trade, actually. They could have probably got more if they'd have been, I don't know, been able to milk slightly better there, but yeah, it's actually going to be a nice dry push from Ascent now.
Yeah, they've done really well. They've actually picked up Captain very early, and Cadus. They're going to just play the point. Raymond trying to take on 5 players, not able to do so. And that's going to end up with a 5-4 scoreboard so far. 5 minutes left. They can bring it back. They can easily bring it back.
They just need another one of these But they need a more crushing mid than normal, so they have actually opted to not run Sniper, which I do like, because they're going to want to... Basically, they're going to want to kill Raymond this mid and keep Connor alive if they want to try and get back into this game the best they can. I'm going to expect both soldiers from Ascent to go pretty aggressive this time, as Captain will roll out fast, along with Starkey. I think Starkey's going to go into IT, but yeah, we do see this mid unfold now.
It just matters when Starkey's going to come back in, as they have got a lot of the high ground, but Starkey's coming now straight on to Connor. Missed the first rocket, gets the second, going to reload, get Connor. And whilst this is happening, Captain does go down, but Ascent not able to pressure onto Raymond at all. Eemes is going to get cleaned up. Phil
with a nice frag onto Thalash. Both all of Se7en so weak at the end of that mid, but basically the bomb onto Connor was successful. I'm not quite. I think it was probably by Captain, and the bomb onto Raymond was not. So basically the heals just won in that mid. And Se7en looking pretty strong now. They don't want to lose control of this round at this point. You know, they're in the position that they want to be, and they need to just take this in methodically and not make any mistakes, as they will be opting to go top IT again.
Yeah, Ascent need to be very careful not to get caught out by this. They need to start cycling Connor into a safe position, as they do try and get the force early, but they do get Tiger, but that's about it, as Eemes does end up goes down. They slowed down the push though, and held it quite nicely. Like they're not trying to come in. They may be re-pushing through choke actually right now, so they need to reposition. Ascent spotting them come in, but they're not able to really connect with anyone. Guys, Se7en jumps really nicely above. Right now, Eemes, it's kind of a bit of a spitting match, but no one's really connecting anything.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. Ascent seemed to have a pretty hard read that they knew Se7en were going to try and go IT. You know, they've played against this team for so long, they just kind of know exactly what Cadis is thinking. But finally, Cadis makes a smart decision, backs out from IT. They rotate choke, but actually with two players behind, they're both going to go down trying to get a play onto Raymond, and this is looking like a pretty good opportunity for Se7en to come into last now.
Yeah, even though Eemes are equal, it's still a risky situation for Ascent to be in. They are going to use very early. Captain's behind, distracting other players, whilst Credo and Connor are trying to get onto Raymond. Raymond, keeps his Uber for so long. He has punished them so well. They're going to try and Ascent. No, they're not able to actually get any connections. I thought they might be able to jump on them.
It was really smart by Raymond there not to play too close with his team, knowing that the first two players forward would probably die, but they could get the force onto Connor, and then the repop finally would allow them to kill him. Tiger will go down, as his dry push is not looking too fantastic with Se7en, but at this point, they're one round up, they don't need to take any risky fights, and they can just back out and wait instead for this 40% Uber advantage.
Se7en in a good position, but not able to really do anything, because they are going to be waiting on that Uber, but they did lose Tiger, and Se7en nearly actually catches out Captain there. Cadis now in a bad position, gonna get cleaned up by Drac. Nice, just popping his head in, saying hello, and getting a nice frag out of it, and that's gonna slow everything down. Tiger's not having any of it. They haven't even seen him, he got in so deep, and he's creating such a huge distraction now that the Se7en players are just gonna get in for free. They go straight on to Phil, but they haven't got Uber yet. They're going to try to get onto Connor, get that frag. They're able to do so. They just need to play point now, Eemes. And Se7en trying. Oh, big rocket from Se7en onto Tiger. And they might be able to salvage this.
Yeah, it's a really scrappy gem fight here, but again, Raymond does have the heals, whereas Connor does not. Captain is actually going to have to leave. He doesn't have ammo, I think, and Raymond is actually going to have to get out. So it looked like Stark basically won them. Oh, Raymond's almost going to kill Eemes there. Actually, nicely dodged from Eemes to stay alive. But it was. This is potentially a round for Ascent if they make quick work out of this, because Se7en are not going to want to commit to any of these fights. They're just basically going to let Ascent roll all the way in, and then maybe even be pushing last here because they do have a solid Uber advantage, and Raymond has not been healing at all. So yeah.
Yeah, and Ascent need to really move as quickly as possible. They got 1 minute 10 left on the scoreboard. They're going to get their Uber in time, but it's just making sure they're not going to lose their medic. You can see they're going to be checking every angle, every corner, every hiding spot, just to make sure that they've got a play on to Lash. They've spotted out the Lash. Lash has landed a headshot.
Oh wow, huge arrows from Connor onto Dr. Bill. He got bloody shot by Thalash down to about 10 HP, and Starkey bombs him, but he got arrowed twice in a row, so he will live there. And this is a decent Uber advantage for Ascent, so they could definitely make this work if they're quick about it. They're going to come onto point. Eemes walk in, they still haven't used, which is really nice for them, but Raymond is 85. This is going to be a really close push here.
Yeah, they really need to start getting onto the point. They've started baiting the time. Captain's going to get cleared. Oh, Drac! Keeping the point alive and brings that to a 5-5. Well played by him. And it's going to Golden Cap. The first map is Golden Cap.
How close can you be? We're 5-5 here, Grumpy. I mean, you mentioned before, Se7en potentially known for being a slow team, but this has been anything but a slow map.
Yeah, exactly.
And, I mean, going back to that arrow play from Connor, really that has essentially saved them this map, because if they didn't have Phil on that last push, there's no way they were winning it. This last mid-fight would just be a little bit of chaos, but I know Se7en are probably going to be kicking themselves there. They let Ascent roll them. They failed a last push and let Ascent roll them all the way coast to coast in about 1 minute and 40. So, yeah, Se7en are going to be pretty annoyed by that.
Yeah, I feel they will be, but I also think they've got quite a lot of respect for Ascent at this point. Like, Ascent have proven before that they can go toe-to-toe with Se7en. So I think Kada's maybe thinking of some other strategies, something off the cuff that maybe Ascent aren't going to predict to win out this Golden Cap.
Yeah, definitely. As we do have a brief opportunity to look at logs here.
Numbers, yay!
Numbers, fantastic. I see Eemes on a solid 300 DPM, 32 for 17. So recently we've been seeing, actually, and by the way, let me know if it starts, because I'm not tabbed in.
Me neither.
But we tend to see. I know we've been seeing Credu being the scout that's putting his team on his back in Ascent, but yeah, both scouts really here. I mean, 27 frags on Credu, 32 on Eemes, and both around 300 DPM. So really, really nicely played by both of them.
Yeah, I think it has been a very, very interesting map. I feel like Celentes and Drac had a really good toe-to-toe fight with Starkey and Captain. I feel like Drac and Celentes were just so in sync at some points, and some of their rockets were absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, definitely. We saw Sil having a huge impact, I think, or just hitting some really, really crispy, nice rockets. But from the logs, Captain definitely doing a lot. 21 frags, not even getting a negative KD, which is not something you generally expect from a soldier on process. We saw him kill Dr. Phil a lot of times, particularly on mid. So, yeah, Captain definitely playing well as well. Both pockets, really. I mean, the soldiers did decent given that it's process, and it's not generally a soldier map. But then we look at the demos, and it's not such a happy log, is it, Grumpy?
Yeah, it's not. I would say that, to me, process isn't really a demo map.
Really?
I wouldn't say it's. I wouldn't say it's as. I feel like it's more soldiers and scouts than it is demos on process, in my opinion. I just feel like it's not got the perfect nooks and crannies and chokes like, for example, Gullywash does. So I just feel like it's sometimes harder to really be hugely impactful on demo on process compared to on other maps. I would say it's one of the weaker maps for demo. And I also feel like, I feel sorry for Cadus, but that 23 deaths he's got, part of those deaths, I think, were him just jumping in, trying to get onto Connor in some weird and wonderful fashion. Eemes?
Yes. So okay, right. I was just trying to clarify the rules, but so it's a 10-minute golden cap. So does that mean, whoever holds mid at the end of 10 minutes will win? So this is the kind of golden cap that you sometimes have at LAN when you're pushed for time, and it's one of the weirdest 10 minutes of TF2 you're going to see, unless it's a standard roll to last. If we're getting towards the end and one team has mid and the other doesn't,
they're just going to hold mid.
Yeah, they probably. Well, it depends, but it can get extremely, extremely cagey, and yeah. So holding mid is a win.
Yeah, it will be entertaining to see if, like, for example, one team holds mid, so they bring like a sentry onto mid in the last 2 minutes. So just set up a last hold on mid. That would be entertaining to see.
Indeed, as we do have Ascent readied up. I think I did actually see that at I-61. I think, yeah, it was. If I remember, it was Ascent against maybe. Oh no, it was Ascent. I think it was against Swift actually, I-61, and Sentry tried to put a sentry on mid, but then they tried to push last, but Sentry got a sentry on mid, and then they just wiped and they lost mid anyway. So it was truly hilarious. Hopefully we don't see that in this game because, you know.
I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be very, very close. But we are actually coming into the Golden Cap right now for the Grand Final, the first map of the ESL One-Day Cup. And Captain got a lot of pressure on the high ground right now. Drac looking maybe to see if he can bomb and take some of that high ground for his team. Still doing the big bomb distraction, but Starkey coming in, looking to get the rocket onto Connor, not able to do so as Connor stays alive really nicely, but they do lose Phil. Ascent are going to need to start having to back out as Drac sinks off a rocket and creates a little bit of a distraction for his team, and they're able to barrel through, get on and Cadus. Raymond is trapped alone in choke. Talash actually comes to try and save his teammate and is able to get on to Credu. But well played from Ascent. Nice read of the situation.
Yeah, it was initially looking pretty dire for Ascent because Dr. Phil just died on his own on right side, but with Se7en tried to kind of commit over left there, but they just didn't really take the ground very effectively, and that meant they kind of got counterbombed by both the Ascent soldiers, and they just did a lot of damage, particularly to Cadus, and he eventually died, and then yeah, Se7en just kind of wiped apart from Talash. So, I mean, this is one of the... I mean, Raymond is at 30% right now, so he's going to potentially be getting Uber here if Ascent aren't quick about it, with the Sentry also being up. But, you know, as we've already talked about, it's the 10-minute Golden Cap rule, so... Although I don't have the right timer, so it's going to be very difficult for me to...
It's actually a 15-minute one, but I feel like Ascent aren't going to hold back. They're going to look to use this as soon as possible. They're looking on the right-hand side. They've spotted out the sentry gun, so they should clean that really, really quickly. And Eemes actually gets picked up by Captain, which is not good to lose a player, but they haven't used their Uber. It's going to be an Uber exchange on last. If Drac can't get onto Raymond, which he cannot, and they're going to be starting to bait point. We're going to see the 7 players come forward. They have exchanged the Ubers, and with the current situation on spawns, I feel like Ascent are going to have a really rough time.
I don't know why Ascent are committing to this. They were 2 players down after the Uber, and they've just gone so deep. They should be able to chase Connor out here if they're quick, Se7en. And that was a really, really terrible play. But Eemes actually is on Spy here, although Starkey is on last holding it. That's a smart play from Se7en. And no way that Eemes can get that, really. And Connor has actually also gone down to a huge bomb from Cadus. So, I mean, we were talking about Cadus's kind of questionable logs last... Although Eemes actually will get spotted on Spy trying to go behind. He will kill himself. And, I mean, that was just a horrendous play from Ascent. I don't know why they committed to that. They were down 2 players. There was no way they were going to win.
I think it's almost the if we cap this now, it's over sort of thing. You know, it's like they probably got a bit too excited to recommit when they thought maybe because the Uber exchange happened, they might have thought they had a better position and handle on things than they did. But no, they definitely should not have been fighting on that last push. They should have just cut their losses and run.
Right. Yeah. So Se7en are going to go quite aggressive. They're going to be walking through IT here, trying to hope to catch out. Oh my goodness! Oh, this is horrendous. Oh no!
Why?
So
what?
Okay. This is pretty funny. Se7en. Okay. Expecting that Ascent would try and hold aggressively there, Se7en did what is known as a blind Uber through lower IT, really aggressive. Cadus just bombing, trying to pogo through, and no one on the set was even there. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't think that the Uber, they were so far back that not a single Ascent player saw the Uber, so they don't know they have ad now. They're just gonna be
They're gonna get away with it.
It's crazy stuff. If Cadus had peeked a bit further, then they would have seen the flash on him, and Ascent would have just been like, wait, they used? What? But yeah, so when you take a blind Uber like that, there's potentially a lot of reward in the situation, because the blind Uber, you know, they're not, if they, generally when a team, as soon as a team sees you, they're going to start backing up, right? But if they don't see you, they're not going to back up. You might be able to catch them out. But this is obviously it's a double-edged sword, you know. And this was the sharp edge on Se7en. Although somehow
they got away with it.
It was blunt actually, because they didn't even see them. So that's just crazy scenes here. Crazy scenes.
Oh, Drac playing a sniper, actually feeding information for his team, and looking to maybe get a play. No, he's just having a little bit of a wonder. Oh no, he's coming back. He's looking. Raymond spotted him out like straight out. Oh no!
I wasn't looking.
Oh my god, he got it!
How did he get that?
He got Raymond.
Did he just 3-shot or something?
Him.
Oh no.
He shanked and double shot him.
So that's crippling depression right now for Se7en. They're going to try to mount a pitiful hold on this second, but they're not really going to get anything out of it, and it's full advantage for Connor. They're going to be able to walk through probably pretty much for free as Cadus is so far back. He's going to get his well-known sticky trap up on the bridge here, but probably not going to get anyone as Ascent will know all about it, and they're going to be able to take mid completely for free and still a pretty big Uber advantage. So Se7en, they can't let it happen like they did in regular time. They can't just let Ascent walk into second here without delaying them, otherwise they're going to get to last too quickly.
Yeah, they do need to be very careful, as Ascent have actually opted to go in through sewer. I think they're going to come out of suicide, as they are. Captain is trying to spam them very, very early. Salenta is using the distraction to go on to Raymond, but not able to connect anything. Was that like a distract? If that was a distraction play, that was a pretty good move. Like,
yeah.
I feel like if Salentes went a little... Oh! Captain!
Nice little stuff from Connor there. Doing well to milk against, you kind of, sometimes you think the Captain's just going to hit every single rocket in the world, but yeah, he is human, he does miss sometimes, so yeah, but basically going back to that play, they knew they didn't have enough Uber advantage, but they will actually be trading in here, so scrap that. They've gone pretty aggressive now, and both guys will be leaving. Eemes might try and trace with it. He's going to go so deep, actually. He's on to Connor, and Thalash will kill Connor himself. And oh my god, that's huge from Cadus and Thalash there. The Uber just, I mean, I don't know why Ams wanted to go so aggressively with that, to be honest, particularly as they had mid. But it will be Ascent trying to collapse here, but they're not really going to get anything, and it's a complete wipe. Wow.
This is game.
Wow.
This is definitely, I feel like this is game.
But it's such a risky play from Ams there, Grumpy. I mean, I just don't understand it.
It was the last little mistake that Ascent did that I think has put the final nail in the coffin. They've got such a huge Uber ad on the side of Se7en that there's very little that Ascent are going to be able to do to deny this once the Uber is going.
Yeah, indeed. I'm going to expect Se7en to go far right with their sniper, just take specs and allow Thalash to just shoot some heads here. But Thalash is actually scoped up in rollout now. He's kind of alone. So I'm expecting him to rotate over to his team. Se7en, and they're walking through lobby now. They're going to be trying to Uber through here now. Heavy actually is very close on credit. He's probably not spotted. They've Ubered through left. Going to get a lot of damage onto them. Phil will die, and so will Sil actually, probably. Surely will die up top. But so much damage actually from that Uber, and it's looking like, yeah, Se7en have basically just won this. Thalash actually getting three kills there, so wow.
Track going for the last save, not able to do so, and yeah, that one little mistake from Ascent sank their ship on this first map, and it's going to be the first map going to Se7en. Commiserations to Ascent, but I feel like the next match is going to be as close.
It's, I know, it's weird stuff from Ascent. They've been doing a lot of nice... I mean, obviously, 5-5 was a pretty... They did well to come back from 3-5 down at that point, with about 8 minutes left. But really, in that golden cap, just taking a lot of unnecessary risks, I think. It's one round and you lose. You don't want to be pushed around. Like, they committed into the last 4v6 for some reason, which made no sense. And they, a scout trade is, like, decent sometimes. It's a bit risky, but it's not too bad. But, like, in a golden cap... I don't know, I feel like you've got to slow that down, particularly when you have mid.
Yeah. It was that little mistake. It's I'm glad we've got other maps coming, and we've got actually quite a notorious one. I'm going to just quickly segue onto this. Do you want to have a look at the logs for the Golden Cap?
Nah.
It will be very arbitrary. I imagine, like, you won't be able to glean anything from it. But the second map, Snakewater, this one's interesting.
Yeah,
because
carry on.
Carry on. No, I know exactly what you're going to say. So carry on.
Oh well, I mean, Se7en traditionally don't really like Snakewater because I don't know. They're just not particularly good at it. The mid is kind of weird. It's basically just do your soldiers hit shots when they bomb? If yes, then you might win. If they get denied, then you lose. And it's not the most interesting of mids, to be honest. We actually switched level again, so I don't know what that's about. Oh.
Baited!
So we may never even play Snake. Who knows?
What are the maps? Oh. What are the maps, Sweet? Oh, okay, so Snake is decided. Oh, they skipped ahead. They were like, nah, let's do the decider now. Winner takes all.
Maybe Ascent just think it's a foregone conclusion that they win Gullywash. I have to say they were pretty strong when I played against them, like just now. particularly. I know it was actually their scouts just doing a lot. They were just monstrous. They took a lot of double scout Ubers in, and it was very effective. They also had some crazy good last holds where basically Credu, he would just sit and spawn on heavy on the last holds, and he's 450 HP, so there's not really anything you can do to kill him, and he would just stand in the shutter and just chip you down, and it's very, very annoying and difficult to play against.
I think one thing that needs to be said actually is the two scout combos we have are nuts.
They are indeed
absolutely ridiculous. You've got Eemes and Credu on the Ascent roster, and you've got Thalash and Tiger, who respectively are four of, if not the four best scouts currently in EU TF2.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous. And you can see that they play off each other really well. And I feel like this is going to be where Phil and Cadus are really going to have a chance to shine. Because I do feel like Gully is very, very demo-centric.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you saw it on the last map, a lot of Cadus's impact in particular was just like do a crazy bomb, hit a bit of damage and die, and then his team cleans up. And maybe he'll get like one crucial kill and that's it, and then he'll die. But Gully, you can really if you're playing smart, you can just lock things down really effectively, and if people are trying to push through the fairly small chokes and you get the right timing on it, you can just kind of crush people. So yeah, definitely we'll be looking to see a lot more out of Phil and Cadus on this map.
I think it will be a nice little matchup, and especially on the mids as well. It's very dictated by how the soldiers initialize this mid. So Starkey and Captain and Drac and Celentes will be also a huge impact on these mids.
Mm-hmm. It'll be. Oh, sorry.
No, it's cool.
Okay. Well, I feel like every time
we're so polite. We're so polite to each other.
We love it. It's just too much of a bromance. What can you do? Oh well. Well, what I was going to say is there's going to be a pretty interesting 1v1 between Drac and Cadus at the start of mids, because obviously they know each other very well. They've got maybe even have a little bit of a rivalry there. A bit of friendly banter, but the gameplay between the Roma and the demo at the start of mid is very interesting because if the demo is playing aggressive, then the Roma can get onto him early and kill him. But if the demo plays it slightly differently and sickies himself off and the Roma goes aggressive, then the Roma will get absolutely destroyed. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see which of these former teammates and both very smart players will actually get the better out of that matchup.
It will be a very, very interesting sort of start of the mid, and I think the first mid will really, really dictate the pace of how the game's going to go. Like, I feel like Ascent are going to be... I feel like both teams are, but I think Ascent's plan right now is to get early points onto the board once again and just be able to get a lead as early as possible with Se7en, because Se7en really are good at playing the long game and breaking down the little bits and bobs that their opponent tries to throw at them.
Well, you say that, and that is definitely traditionally what Se7en have been good at. But old Se7en, you would never expect them to lose 2 rounds with like 6 minutes left so quickly, and like just basically completely lose control of the game. I mean, obviously they did win the golden cap in the end, so that's well played by them. But like, they're evidently not so, particularly against this Ascent team, they're not so in control as they often have been known to be.
I'm just excited. I want these gamers to start. Who are we waiting on? Are we waiting on 7 players?
We're waiting on Tiger and Raymond. Probably Smoking, to be honest. Or probably Tiger is, I don't know. That's just a guess, though.
Can't take it in between maps on a final.
I mean, I can one up you there. Well, not with what I've done, but at LAN, we had great. Obviously, much better PCs, the people who rented them, than some of their PCs at home. And Demos, he played games of Fortnite between maps at LAN. Well, in one of our easier best of 3s, to be fair, but still. So he was...
he was playing Fortnite in
between maps at best of 3. It was against the non-invite team, but still, it was pretty funny.
Isn't it too late to be talking about Fortnite anyway?
Well,
I mean, the people. Yeah, I was going to say, but I meant more for us talking about Fortnite. Isn't everyone gone to bed by now who plays that game?
Oh, okay, yeah, probably.
It's all about Apex Legends. Let's just promote other games. But yeah, actually, no, let's talk about something more important than Apex Legends and Fortnite, and that is Copenhagen Games.
Ooh,
Are
yes.
you going, Eemes?
Yeah, I think I am. Yes, I'm going.
Are you
Almost
going
certainly.
on a team?
Well, that's yet to be decided. Hopefully. That's the plan.
You pound
I'm
my friend.
already playing Highlander, so can't wait.
What's your Highlander team called?
It's called Strong Opinions. It's the best Highlander team ever. So yeah, hopefully we win.
Oh, big boy!
That. It's got a crazy roster. But,
who's on the roster? Give us a sneak peek. Are you allowed?
I think so. I mean, it's the Sixes players we have include Adiski, Thalash, and actually that's it. But
Adiski on demo?
No, Adiski's on. Oh, CJ, yeah, obviously. I just think of CJ as a Highlander player, but yeah.
Well, who are the Highlander players as well? So you got CJ.
Well, we've also got all the best Highlander players, so it's perfect. You got the Sixes players on the Sixes classes, and all the best Highlander players. It's going to be beautiful. But enough about my Copenhagen Games team.
But come down to Copenhagen and watch Eemes pound.
Watch me play Highlander. That's why you should book a ticket. No, you should be booking a ticket because, well, we don't know if a North American team is coming. They may well be. It's kind of unconfirmed. But both of these teams, probably with the exact same rosters, maybe with potentially one small change. But both these teams will be playing at Copenhagen Games, and this is a pretty intense match. I mean, 5-5 with the golden cap. That's pretty intense.
The first map.
But what about a best of 5 final of this at LAN? On the third day of LAN when everyone's tired, but into it as well. It's gonna be crazy stuff. Can't wait.
But so actually, one thing I will say about Copenhagen, if you've not been before, last year they had all of the TF2 players in an area, so it wasn't like iSeries. You weren't dotted all over the shop. The TF2 players stick with the TF2 players, and the atmosphere at that LAN was amazing. Everyone was. You didn't have to worry about any awkward convos or trying to explain to that guy who plays CS:GO what TF2 actually is. Everyone around you knows and enjoys the game, Highlander or Sixes or otherwise, and it is one of the best experiences you can give yourself if you're a fan of TF2.
Most definitely. It's we're a small community, but we're tightly knit, and when we all just sort of
we're a big family.
We're a big family, exactly, and it's definitely a fun land.
It's quite sweet. It's quite sweet. It is. And trust me, you'll make amazing friends at it as well. So if you're thinking about going, but don't know if you should, go. Trust me, it's worth every single penny.
I think the arena looks. Well, I don't really know that much about the arena itself, but it's an old train warehouse or something, or train creation factory, train repair factory or something.
Wow!
And it's I know it looks pretty cool. I think so. It should be even better because last time it was kind of an industrial wasteland, but it should be a little bit nicer now.
Wasn't there hints at maybe TF2 on main stage?
I have no idea.
Oh, we don't know, but maybe. Tweet at Copenhagen Games asking for main stage. There you go.
Yeah.
Beg for it.
Do it, boys.
But yeah, back onto the map. We're still waiting on a player to join. I don't know. We've said a lot about Gully. Raymond's just joined, so that's good timing. So we should be going live soonish. Anything on the wire? At all?
I think we had a couple players, Sil and Raymond. Yeah, we had players restarting, but they're getting back in now.
Quick prediction. Go. What do you think is going to happen?
I think we're going to see another pretty fast game. They're not quite as fast as the last one because that was just kind of frenetic and crazy. I think there's going to be 1 or 2 stalemates, but I think the Se7en are going to win because, you know what? I'm going to change my mind. For the sake of there being a third map, I'm going to say Ascent will take this one 4-3.
I'm going to say, I want to do a cop-out and say we're going to have another golden cap.
Okay. Fair enough. But who's going to win the golden cap? That's the real prediction.
Ascent.
Okay. So
They have got Drac. They have got Drac, and Drac is near Big Door.
Yeah,
you know
true.
what that means. Like, he's going to watch it and he's going to dominate that whole area as he always does. So, you got to respect Drac when he's on a map that has a Big Door.
Indeed. Other people to respect on this map. Definitely Captain, But I think, actually, in the past, even with this roster, definitely the Ascent soldiers are probably going to be... I'm expecting them to be better than the Se7en soldiers, actually, because they've had some problems with their mids in this map in the past, Se7en, with, not being able to coordinate with their demo and soldiers, although that was when they didn't have Cadus. So, maybe he's drilled it into them exactly what they need to do, and Captain and Stark will be making some magic happen. I haven't seen them play Gullywash, I think, with Cadus instead of Domo, so maybe things have changed. Maybe they've gone on a lot better at it. Who knows? And we are seeing the team's ready up. Siwa's back in the server, and we're ready to go. So, second map. Let's do it. I'm looking forward to it.
Welcome. Just for those who have joined us, this is the ESL one-day cup. This is the grand final of the second map, which is Gullywash between Ascent and Se7en. Se7en won the other one by Golden Cap. But coming into this mid, Phil's going to get picked up very, very quickly. Drac is in the low ground, though. I don't know if anyone knows that he's under there. He's going to come up now. No, Captain jumped and calls him out. He's going to take some directs. And Solentes and Drac working together to try and stay alive. Whilst this is happening, Ascent look to push across point.
Ascent there. Two players within less than 10 HP there, but Cadus is going to... he's unable to clean up. He's only a demo man, so he's just going to have to leave that. It was... it was really nice by Captain getting Phil so early on, but I think Stark maybe trying to make a play on drop down just was kind of isolated there, and Drac basically he hid under point almost the entire mid, and although he didn't really do too much, he didn't die either, so he was able to have an impact right at the end when it was like 4v3 or something. So kind of a cagey mid there, but Ascent just winning out, and they will come in here for an Uber trade with Eemes and the soldier, although actually no, they're not going to.
Oh my god, that damage!
It looked like they were going to, but they're just
that was like a nope.
Yeah.
Solentes is in though, but Raymond's in a really good position. He's going to be safe and sound. And Solentes goes down, and now Starkey or Captain or anyone is going to try and make a play, I think, onto Connor, or at least abuse some of this space. And we see Captain drop down and get spotted out instantly, though. So we're going to get a reset.
Yeah, we are. I'm expecting to see, potentially when there's slightly less of a stronghold on Choke, but I'm expecting to see Ascent taking some Uber trades in from Choke here, maybe trying to get the soldier behind, because that is what they are famous for doing pretty much on this map. I mean, Se7en do it too. I mean, it's just kind of... It's so interesting because that is exactly what Eemes would have done when he played for Se7en before, and now that's what he does when he's on Ascent. So it's clearly an effective strat that they like to do, but the problem with that is that obviously Se7en know that it's an effective strat, and they probably know the best way to counter it, which is having a soldier or a scout play up top so the soldier can't get behind you. So that now you know, and they will be coming in for the Uber trade now, I think. Yes, they're going to go really deep. It's some nice damage, and
Raymond stays
they will be flashing, and Sil's going to try and go behind now, as I literally just said.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Crushed.
Oh, he gets crushed. Good prediction, but he got absolutely crushed there. But Raymond, again, like little movements, little behaviors he does mean that he can just stay alive and stay healthy for so long that he used to Uber a good couple of seconds afterwards, even though he was getting bombarded by all these Ascent players. It's a beautiful thing to see.
It's it's pretty... I mean, it's exactly like I laid it out. They know it's a good strat, but Se7en knows it's a good strat too, so they've countered it. Se7en had an opportunity to maybe try and do something there, but it's really just hard to get through aggressively. Actually, Drac might get caught in Big Dog. He's like really nice sickies from Cadus. He's going to catch him in, and he will kill him. Cadus with a sicky trap and another kill onto Drac. Really nicely played, and they should be able to take mid here now. Phil's not even holding the choke at all, so they've gotten him for free, and Tiger is actually behind. So Ascent are going to get kind of crunched here. Tiger's behind. He's going to get out to Phil.
All these Se7en players are everywhere. How is Connor still alive? Connor's so low. Oh, he ends up having to use, and that was really... It was well played by Se7en, but they lost so many players in the process.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Tiger kind of missed onto Connor there. He'd have just gone for a kill on Phil, but Se7en opting to go for the force rather than the actual commit to the push. But Drac is in behind him. Probably will be getting the force, but actually no, Cadus will stick him out. And so it's pretty nicely played by Se7en to just get, a huge pick by Captain onto Phil actually, and won't even die for that. That's just absolutely heads up play by
Slowed
Captain.
Everything down, and they've lost Drac as well. Oh, they're gonna have to back out, Eemes. Like, Eemes is hiding. Eemes is hiding. Oh, never mind.
And Ascent are trying to play so close here. They don't have Uber, and they're just going to get bullied back. I don't really understand this play. They don't have it at all. They're going to force them finally, and actually it's a nice rocket from Se7en turns onto Thalash. So actually, that did kind of work out there in the end. If Se7en had been a little bit quicker there, they could have actually caught out Connor with that, but not a very effective Uber there. Although
oh my god, Drac. Tiger!
And they could actually dry push this into last year, although Connor does have 85%, so they may try and go for a force here, but they don't want to get caught.
Tiger literally became the ultimate life form then. He had 3 guys trying to shoot him in lobby, and he dodged absolutely everything with like 3 HP.
Yeah, as Stark will go on the point and kill Eemes here, but he will get finally cleaned up by Creddy. The soldiers on Se7en actually doing a lot at the moment, which is really nice to see. But Ascent with a sizable Uber advantage, but I don't think they want to push. They're kind of, having lost their main caller Eemes, they're just kind of afraid at that point.
And I think Tiger's slunk into water without anyone knowing.
He has,
or at least there's no sticks on point.
Exactly. So that could definitely be a play that he's going to be making at some point. And if Kados can try and get some stickies on point as well, that could be a force maybe if Soldier gets in for free, or he'd even just cap it off if they're not paying attention. But actually, oh my god, that's so smart from Tiger. Drag checks him, but Tiger runs past him, and he's so, oh my god! Holy shit, that was, sorry.
Dear lord, did he just solo cap?
So Drag went under, that was amazing, honestly. Drag went under to check him, he went through right side, and at the exact moment Tiger ran the other way, and then he just solo caps because they think Drag has it covered, and then he doesn't. Wow, that was...
Oh my god, some super sneaky play.
400 IQ from Tiger there, wow.
No way. As Se7en actually coming really strongly into the second mid. Big bombs coming out of Salentes, trying to get onto Kados. He does end up getting Tiger, but Kados goes down to Eemes in the end. Eemes is trapped in elbow though, and will get fragged down. They've still got their med. Connor's still alive as well, but he's in big door. Phil getting out, and Credit needs to try and get out of dodge, not able to do so. And Ascent are going to have to go all the way to their last.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty even mid, but then for some reason I saw Eemes trying to walk into Thalash and Raymond from elbow at that point, at some point in mid, and he just gets pretty much cleaned up by Thalash very easily because he didn't have heals, and so it was basically just kind of a feed from him, and then it was a 4v3 for Se7en, so pretty easy win for them. I know, kind of questionable from Eemes. I really don't know what he's doing. It was just really weird play.
And it has caused Ascent to be once again on the back foot, and they're going to come in on Uber, but Raymond stays alive for so long, forcing Connor to use at the exact same time, and they're going to exchange. I think they're looking for any stragglers to pick up or anything like that, as Eemes just go lower. He hasn't been spotted, walks past the lash, behind the entire team, tries to get onto someone, still alive, doing a big distraction. Captain actually goes down. They've traded player for player, they're not caught anyone else out, and actually with Captain down as well, that's 2 players versus only 1 on Ascent, and they're pushing forward, Eemes. Yeah,
I'm just doing some really non-pocket scouty stuff at the moment, which is kind of interesting to see, kind of unexpected, but he's trying to make the plays. I mean, Ascent are trying to come in from top here, still will take a 1v1 with Stark and get directed twice, I think, but he will get out of there just about alive, and we are seeing a reset, although somehow Se7en have managed to get a 20% Uber advantage here, so they could actually go in, but I don't think they'll know about it. Actually, no, they do, and they're going to be going from Shotter here, maybe? Oh, I don't know. I can't work out what they're doing, Grumpy.
They're doing things. I think they were just looking for an angle to go in, or maybe send a sack, but they're probably well aware now that the Ubers are going to be equaling out now in any way, and they're just going to be looking for an angle to get that pick, get Starky in, maybe get an off class. It's all really down to what decision they make. I'm surprised Credo hasn't gone sniper yet. He's still on the pyro, reflecting things left, right, and center, and it does mean that they pick up 2 players. Starky and Kados going down means that they can push out a last.
Yeah, they could. Captain is just going to try and hold really close to Shutter here, but Ascent are walking in from top with Creddy. They're going to be trying to just poke and prod here, but it's Creddy versus 2 scouts. You're going to have kind of a rough time. Although it is Creddy, so you never know what he can do. But still actually has gone down in lobby to Captain, and Creddy will also die up top, so Connor's going to have to leave, and now this is a nice opportunity for Se7en, although Captain has gone down to Phil in lobby, trying to delay them with some sticky traps. But he has gone down to Tiger as well, so this could definitely be a last push from Ascent, from Se7en if they just come in here. Kata's walking in, they have so much room.
They just have all of this pressure on them right now. It's kind of hit an impasse, but the sticks are on the point. They're going to clean off Se7en. They've got a chance to just clear the point. Cadus goes down, Tiger goes down. The Credu Pudis saves the day.
That was truly...
Ooh.
Will he
Raymond coming back up? No. Are they playing whack-a-mole with Raymond right now? Oh my god!
Wait, what? How did he get out?
How?
I have no idea how he
He just walked out!
Did Phil not? I have no idea how he walked past Phil. That's crazy. But yeah, that last push, it was really sad for Se7en because they had 3 or 4 players on point. They could have capped, but they were literally all flashed by Raymond. And then the Uber came off them, and finally Ascent jumped on them, and then they basically just killed them all. Ascent, Cadus will go in deep for Connor here. Gets a nice sticky onto it, but he ruled down. No, but Connor has gone down. And Captain's was cleaning up on his main caller's damage. And actually, we do have a scout on last as well. So much chaos here, but it's looking like it's coming good for Se7en.
Yeah, Se7en have still got their heals. It's only Drac and Phil left. Salash is going to get cleaned up by Dr. Phil, but Captain, big rocket onto Drac. Phil trying to save the day, not able to do so, and that's 2-0 to Se7en.
This is the kind of demo play that you only ever see from Cadus, just jumping in, going super deep, getting some decent damage, dying, but he just opens it completely up for Captain to just come and wipe them. He's got such trust in his players that he doesn't need to get any kills himself, and they'll still win the fight.
I still don't understand how Raymond just walked out. That was beautiful. But, Captain going in with a big bomb onto Big Door. Not able to clean up Se7en though, and just going to be a bit of a distraction whilst the rest of the Se7en are all bound together as a unit. They're going to go in, get Connor, get Phil as well. Some really good pressure across the point from Se7en. And they're going to clean up Drac in the end, and that was a really good mid-fight from Se7en there.
But you mentioned they were bound together as a unit there, but bound together right at the back of the point in probably the worst position possible, and that meant the Cadus just walked over point, completely uncontested, didn't take any really damage from Phil that he needed to take in order to deny him, and just absolutely crushes them in the corner there. Very, very convincing mid-fight from Se7en.
Yeah, Se7en have been very, very dominatory in this entire situation. As Talash does use Uber on the right hand side, they're going to try and get that sentry gun down. Talash is having a 1v1 with the scout, who did go lower, but able to get out all in shadow. Se7en is in shadow. Phil's coming up. Connor switched off medic, got onto Pyro to try and save the day. All of those Se7en players, though, handled that so cleanly and cleaned up the Ascent defense.
Yeah, I mean, it was... Ascent tried to make it kind of chaotic there, sending players behind. They sent a pyro and a soldier behind into the lobby, and that can make it really problematic if you don't have good comms and you don't have the calmness and assuredness to just go back and clean them up. But that's exactly what Se7en have, particularly in Thalash. He'll know they're there, and he'll just calmly walk back, kill the players behind, and then go on forward and take the 6v4 and win, as we do see this 4th mid fight.
And big bombs out of Drac and Se7en trying to distract, but Drac's taking so much damage, and Starkey gonna bomb up. Really, really passive from Ascent, but Se7en creates the opportunity to go forward. Cadus and Starkey are so low. Drac gets a really nice arrow from Connor, but Connor's going to go down in the end. They manage to get up onto Raymond, clean him up, but the last Ascent players drop, and only losing Raymond.
But look at the HP on Se7en, man. It's crazy. There's 4 players on my screen with red HP, less than 50, but none of them have actually died there. So that mid could have gone very different if a few more people would just hit a few more shots. But Se7en will eventually win it out, although the mid did die, so it will be not a straight road to last.
No, I think it's just going to be poor. Starkey's in. Starkey's out.
It's brave by Starkey. He believed, but that was essential.
I like that bomb though. That's a really, really cool bomb. It's where you go from river and you speed shot off the ramp.
And Drac just did another pretty cool bomb from river with a, well, not a speed shot, but a pogo. But he got one really nice rock onto Raymond. Probably would have actually killed him, but he died before he could get the second one off. So that's unfortunate for him. I
just realised, to anyone who doesn't jump, what we were probably talking about made no sense.
Yeah, I was about to... I kind of get them confused, but then I remembered Yeah, speed shot is the one where you take full damage, and the pogo is the one where you don't.
So speed shot, you kind of bounce off the floor with your rocket. So
Yeah.
pogo, you keep yourself off the floor.
Just one of those sword-taking things that shouldn't really make sense, but there you go. You take full damage and you go faster. It's like, all right, cool.
I think it's because we have bounce back, don't we, from damage?
I guess so, yeah.
That would be the only thing. Wait, what's Ams doing?
Ams is
Ams is trying to do a Samsy. He's trying to do a Samsy.
I mean, he's made quite, over the last season or so, he's made quite a lot of nice plays with the frontier justice actually on NG, and last he's got the 1 kill, I think, onto Stark already with that sentry, and he's looking to, I expect in a few minutes if someone goes down, actually he's just going to be walking into river anyway.
Double crits!
Wow. So yeah, that was nice by Ams, but they're going to need a lot more than just the Roman picker. They're going to want to get back into this game at this point.
Oh, that was nuts.
Yeah, pretty nice, pretty nice.
He's still going. Ams is still going. He's got captain. He ain't stopping.
He's an absolute soldier slayer on NG. There's nothing someone can do, but he will get slain by
But
the sniper.
Thalash.
That's a really nice angle from Thalash actually on the rocks, super far back, but he gets a really nice shot all the way through there. And yep, Ascent poking and prodding, but not getting too much out of it at the moment.
Yeah, they need to be careful now. Drax trying to deal with Starkey and River. Cadus not really getting denied that early enough at all, and it does cause the sentry gun to go down, but Ubers are still equal. So it can be anyone's point at this state. I feel Starkey has gone below. He's going to bait point maybe. No, I think they know he's gone down. He's getting trapped. He may get picked up. He did get Drac for his time though. But
yeah,
Thalash went down. When did he go down?
He went down to a scout who went into main because he was alone for some reason. As a the sun, I mean, Silla's going to go in deep. Going to try and get onto Raymond. Hits one nice rocket. Actually hits two. There's no way that second rocket would kill him because Raymond's too far away. So unlucky for Sill really. And it's interesting. We've been seeing Connor playing in the shutter door when Thalash is on the sniper, which is obviously makes him a lot safer. But his team does have a lot less heals. So if someone can just kind of take some spam fights, they will be able to get them pretty weak and maybe actually make some opportunities for themselves.
Yeah, and Tiger looking to create a little space, but right now I feel like the main priority for Se7en is to get that sentry gun down, so they're going to try and coordinate their spam. So you're going to have Starkey from River, you're going to maybe Captain might be looking at coming up through main if he can, or off launch pad and just spam that sentry gun down as quick as possible. It's quite an awkward spot though, isn't it?
He can hit it from main, so he's going to need to go from balcony or something, but he actually has got it down.
Oh, never mind.
Very nicely timed by him, and Ams has actually gone down as well. I think Ams was trying to make a play on NG, and so the sentry went down. That's probably why that happened, and probably an opportunity for Se7en here, maybe. But to be honest, there's 30 minutes left. Last game they ceded a 2-round lead with 8 minutes. This time they don't want to make the same mistake with 3 rounds in 13 minutes.
Yeah, they're going to be playing it slow, not taking too many risks, and just waiting for Ascent to make the mistake.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like Ascent's best plan would be to get the sentry gun up and running. Oh, it's Starkey's already on trying to deny that. Get a pick, and then start pushing forward. But they do lose Drac, and the sentry's not healthy, in a good position. It's getting spammed out once again. It's still a level 1. It's going to get cleaned up now by the double spam. And as that happens, Tiger makes a play onto point. Doesn't really bring anyone back, but Thalash is actually in shadow as well. Does make a play onto the point. They try to collapse onto him. Now Se7en could just barrel in. Do they have enough of a distraction? I don't think so. Ubers have been exchanged, but Se7en, too many weak players and too many dead players means that they have to back out.
And Silk will go for a very aggressive chase here. He's going to get pretty weak here. The Cadus has actually gone down, and pretty much all of Se7en get cleaned up. Silk will die for it, but that's really nicely played by him, knowing that they were just 3 up, and it busted really successfully out of this last push. The problem was, Cadus was trying to support Thalash as he went for the point play, but they were so close that they just kind of got crushed. Well, they got the Uber 4s really, really easily, and then they were only 3 up because they've had players trying to make the play. So Stark will actually be in forward some sniper here, but he's not really got much of an opportunity to do anything as Ascent already on point, and now they've gone back into this game.
Yeah, they have for the time being. Cadus got a really nice little trap, and he does end up detonating it on Ams, causing him to die.
May have been it's kind of an edgy sticky trap there because Cadus doesn't normally hit his bind, but he did this time. And this will probably be slowing down the push from Ascent though. I'm expecting them probably still to try and go in because they have a decent advantage and they really need to be cycling to make up the rounds this time. Steel's going to walk in for a big deal, but Raymond has fake called up top and it's quite close. He's also close to Uber, so it's going to be kind of difficult for Ascent. But actually Se7en have just decided to back all the way up. They're playing it safe. Cadus will kill Credu, and it's actually a chaotic fight up top, but Seal has gone down and now Se7en can just walk back in. Pretty much for free with Drac probably trying to hold close.
Arrows!
Oh, Drac's super sad right now.
Oh, Drac's still alive. He's going to get pressured by Thalash though, and I think that's going to cause this. Oh, the 7 players did manage to get the force and no use out of.
No.
Oh my god, Thalash is just body blocking them. No fear.
Yeah, no fear at all. But I mean, Drac had a 1v1 with Thalash where both of them did about 300 damage to each other, but they both got arrowed a lot of time. But eventually, the Scout class did win it out, and it is a fully advantage for Se7en here. We're going to be walking through choke. Phil hasn't really got too many stickies close. He's going to have to leave big door, and they should be able to get through pretty easily. Soldiers that were holding really close, they kind of just need to pop in here because they will catch them out if they do. But they've decided to walk it in, and actually they have killed Phil, who kind of fed on the right side. Drac's here behind though. He will be able to get onto Raymond. One nice rocket too, and he will force him. Drac's going to be able to escape behind, so it's nicely played by Drac there.
Yeah, and Connor's actually out. Eemes is with him, so they've now got Uberad to push into mid or just to handle with anything. Whilst this is happening though, Drac was behind. He got deleted by Thalash and Tiger. That laser spray from 2 scouts is just so difficult to deal with. As Eemes starts pushing in, he's already in. He's like not even caring. His team wasn't there, but he was in.
Really weird play by Eemes there, actually. I mean, just kind of completely isolated, just going alone in a down number situation. And actually, this is going to be Connor's going to be able to get taken down at 80%. It's happened again, Grumpy. Ascent getting over eager with an Uber that advantage that they have, but they haven't got the Uber yet. And wow, getting punished for it really, really hard.
You can't be making mistakes like that. Se7en will just pick you apart if they get the opportunity, which they have. And now it's all holds bar really for them. I can't speak.
No holds barred.
No holds barred. There we go. My brain's not working, but it's no holds barred in the respect that Ascent really need to get their defense up as soon as possible. Otherwise, it's going to be so difficult for them to deal with this Uber. As Thalash is going to take it in through Shadow straight onto Se7en. Se7en is going to get just cleaned up, but the Uber has not cleaned up the sentry. Eemes has kept it alive really nicely, but he actually got punished for upgrading his sentry there, and it does end up going down. It's not shooting at anyone. Phil is still behind point, trying to deal a little bit of damage. Does get captain, and Cadus almost gets caught by him, but in the end, that's the 4th round going to Se7en.
Yeah, I really like these last missions from Se7en here. They're so methodical. They know every single time a player gets behind, they know about it. They go back and kill him. They just kill one player, take a bit of ground, kill one player, take a bit of ground, and slowly they just slowly bully their way out in and bully Ascent out into their spawn and just grind out the victory with the pick advantage.
And disheartened Ascent are coming into this 5th mid. Let's see what they're going to try and do and what opportunities they need to take as Drac goes down very early. Se7en does do a big bomb but gets completely denied. Se7en bombing back in, trying to catch out Cadus, but Cadus just walks across the point, picks up Connor.
Cadus, wow.
Credu going down as well. Big plays from Cadus there. Phil trying to get onto Raymond, but Raymond's not having any of it, and that's going to be a wipe for Ascent on mid.
I mean, once again there, we saw Cadus walk over point and kill Connor pretty much uncontested. I mean, partly the soldiers on Ascent were having a rough time. Drac died really early by getting counterbombed by Captain, but Phil's just letting Cadus do whatever he wants on these mids, and Cadus is saying, alright, I'm just going to kill your medic and win for my team.
I don't see what Ascent are going to have to pull out an absolutely beautiful last hold, not dropping any players on the initial push to be able to salvage this. And Se7en looking ready to go forward. They're going to go forward through Shutter once again. They're trying to get onto that sentry, but the work of Credu does deny it, but they haven't wasted that much of their Uber, and so many Ascent players are down. Thalash is onto the point. They've all just powered onto it, and that's 5-0. That's the 2nd map going to Se7en and the entire ESL Cup. Congratulations, Se7en. Commiserations to Ascent. They put on a wonderful show, didn't they, Eemes?
They did, yeah. I mean, it was kind of disappointing, perhaps, on Gullywash. Their mids, I was expecting them to be a lot stronger, but Cadus was just kind of showing out why he's showing why he's one of the best demo men in Europe, really, and just putting his mark on the mids really, really effectively. And they seem to have definitely improved their mids since last season when they were kind of questionable on Gully a lot of the time.
Yeah, it just felt for me like Se7en just were in control so much more. Like all the time they were in the driver's seat, and I feel like poor Ascent just struggled to really regain any sort of control.
Yeah, definitely. Are we gonna have interviews?
Quick logs. Let's do quick logs first. Salentes dealing the most damage. He was trying to do so much that game, actually. Like, he was always trying to bomb in, he was always trying to cause a ruckus, be a bit of a brick wall for his team, and he got a decent damage numbers considering his kills were 9 and his deaths were 17.
Yes, I'm just trying to give people mumble connects, so if you'll forgive me.
You are forgive. You are.
I will let you continue to analyze the logs.
You know the history of me and logs, right? You know how much I love logs. Thanks, man. But yeah, like little things kind of prove it's a 5-0, so it's going to be incredibly one-sided. But things like the kill difference, 82 to 51 with Se7en with the 82, and even if you look at the mid-fight conversions, the first mid was won by Ascent, and then from there it was just 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. I think that's 5, 4. But yeah, it was just a lot of Se7en doing really, really well, being in control. I didn't feel like anyone in Ascent necessarily played poorly. It was more that they made these little mistakes here and there. They felt like there was a little bit of discord in how they were trying to do things. I felt like sometimes Eemes got too disconnected from his team when really he's the one that kind of leads all the charges for them.
I mean, we can sort this one by deaths, and you see the main colours for each team. Cadus on the Se7en getting 5, and with the lowest deaths other than his medic, and Eemes on the Ascent getting 20 and dying, getting only 12 kills. Actually, both players got 12 kills. So really, I mean, I think Eemes was having a very rough game. He was just trying to make weird energy plays for pretty much all of it, and we saw him get caught out that time on mid. But really, Cadus getting very low deaths and pretty high DPM. Just completely in command of that game and making it look very, very easy.
Which I think is so unfair. Because Ascent gave them such a good run-in on process. But yeah. I feel like that scoreline's a bit undeserved for Ascent, because I felt like they played so well, especially the first map.
Yeah, definitely. It was literally one of the closest games like possible, and then one of the
most one-sided.
Yeah.
I don't think there was many a point where Ascent were completely in control. I feel like Se7en, even if they lost control, they were clawing it back almost instantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are we gonna have people to chit chat too?
Yes. Hold on, I've just got to give someone a.
Is that Salentes?
That is, yeah.
I thought so. Hi, Salentes. How you doing, bro?
Hey. I'm alright.
Good commiserations.
That's okay.
You didn't win the.
Didn't win the ESL premium.
Yeah, unlucky.
Wait,
I know you'll be heartbroken.
Wait, is there not like? Oh, is that the only? Is it just the ESL premium?
What do you mean that's the only?
No.
Are you hearing this? That's the only prize.
No, that's not what I meant.
That's the crazy prize.
I thought there might be something for second and third.
You don't even appreciate that.
It's less.
Yeah, I think we get
premium.
I think we get 14 days.
So the winners get more premium.
Just a crumb of premium for third place.
Yeah, just a crumb. It's like 45 seconds.
What do you actually?
I'm sure.
What do you actually get for the premium?
Oh, how's it going, Tiger?
Yo.
I don't know. We will discuss that later. We've also been joined by Cadus as well. Congratulations to both of you.
Thanks.
Well, yeah,
cool.
Yeah. No, I thought you might say something else, but yeah. So let's just talk about the first map. That was so toe to toe. There was some really, really good plays out of everyone. Like with yourself, Salentes and the rest of Ascent. Did you find it very easy to get that first point in? Did you guys feel confident at the start of the first map?
Well, we just wanted to go sniper to the first thing to see like if Credu's like feeling it, and like it's kind of demoralizing if you like come to the first mid and you just get headshot. So we thought it'd be a good thing to start with. It wasn't easy, obviously, but over the whole first map, like coordination was really good, and our comms were really good as well. Like for most of it.
Yeah, it was a very to and fro map. There was some really interesting plays, and with yourself, Cadus and Tiger, how did you feel about the first map? Because it was really, really close and looked like a really fun game to play.
It was quite stressful.
I take that back.
Yeah, we made like a ton of awful mistakes. Like first half was like a lot of sniper struggles and stuff, but second half we really like messed up a few key things. But I think in the second half we kind of got used to the sniper. It took us a while to adapt though.
It is very, very difficult to kind of instantly react to something like, especially someone like Credu, who is a phenomenal sniper. Just sometimes he can dome you where you don't even expect him to do so. So I can imagine that you guys had a little bit of a struggle, but you did start clawing it back, and you got a really, really decent lead. And then Ascent started putting on the pressure once again and equaled it out. And I just felt like it was a genuinely good match, like a really joy to watch.
We're talking about that pressure. I mean, so obviously in the past, Se7en have been pretty good at closing out games when they have an advantage, and I think you have 5-3 up with around 10 minutes left, and you let Ascent come back. Were you expecting to be able to choke the game out there? Like, what went wrong for you guys?
We just failed to do the basic things, and we lost, basically.
We did like a couple key, like really bad mistakes. Like comms completely disintegrated on a last push that should have made it 6-3. And after that, like, I don't know, things just went a little bit chaotic for a few minutes. And then closing minute, we should have held last with 6 and done easy hold, but we like miscommunicated and had a guy sack while we were building a gun, which is like the cardinal sin of how to not choke a game away. So I think it comes down to having like, at least for me, it comes down to like kind of regaining that experience of playing with this 6-man lineup in these kind of environments. I know it's not like the biggest like prize or something, but like practice in like you say, seeing games out and that kind of thing. Because it's like not just something we were naturally good at before, it's just a matter of learning how to play those situations like any others. And I guess we learned a lot of stuff what not to do in that game.
Fair enough. So going on to Gullywash, I felt like what went wrong for you guys? So could you put your finger on the main issue?
I don't really think we got to play the map too much. It was mostly just losing mid and then losing to a full out last push most of the time, and otherwise it was like being on last and just being forced, or like being in a situation where you're already down rounds, and it's always hard. Like mids have just such a big impact, especially on Gully, but like when you're down 2-0 or 3-0, you have to kind of put yourself out there to try and come back, especially. And our mids we couldn't get anything going. We were very disorganized, and I think our comms just kind of broke down on the mid fights. It's just you could just say it's unlucky. You could.
Fair enough. Grumpy, any questions?
Well, like Cadus, I feel comparing how you were playing between Process and Snakewater, I felt like in the Process, I got confused earlier. Sorry, Process and Gully, my bad. But with Process, you were jumping a lot, you were overextending a little bit here and there, and you were getting caught out. And then I felt like completely the opposite in Gullywash. Like you knew exactly what you were doing. You had a lot more command. Did you feel a lot more confident in Gully versus Process, or was it just the nature of the game?
I guess I played better individually on Gully a little bit, but I think a lot of it just comes down to like the overall team comfort. Like it's much more difficult like playing against, like if you're not already winning or playing good and you're playing against like a sniper and stuff like that, there's just like a lot more ground to cover, you know? So I don't know, it makes it easier when you get like comfy in the game. But I guess we make like a lot of mistakes on Process that we don't make. Like I get caught out by things on process that, in my opinion, I shouldn't have to look out for, if you know what I mean. Like, someone should be watching that spot or this position so that I can play while I'm playing. And I guess we just lack a few like understandings on process, but on Gully, I feel like we just naturally have a better understanding on this map. And I think we've talked about Gully like a lot more than process. But I mean, I definitely played better overall. But it's also just a lot easier when you have like either not a sniper against you or the sniper under control. Like in second half of process, I played better as well than the first half. And it's because if there's a sniper who's under control, I can play like, you know, where I like to play. Whereas when there's a sniper, it's like, you know, you can't stand in half the places you like to stand, and you have to, you know, close the distance between them and you and all that kind of stuff, which as a like main calling demo man is a little bit annoying to cope with. Obviously we can do it, but when I don't have to do that, it lets me focus on all my default stuff a lot better, you know?
Yeah, I understand. It's like when there's too much happening, it gets a little bit harder to really be able to play at your peak performance, basically. It's the best way to describe that. On to Tiger, like how was you feeling on the second map? Because it was very, very different. I felt like you had a good impact in, you know, taking a lot of fights where there was one fight you took where there was three people in lobby, and you had 3 health, and you managed to pick up Salentes, and it was quite an impressive play.
I think I got arrowed or something. I don't know.
I think you were like stuck at 3 HP for a little while, dodging everything. Just like, did you feel a difference?
Well, it's a completely different map, and it's always been a map that we've been good on. Like Gullywash has always been really, really comfortable for us, I think. Whereas processes have been like we can be comfortable on it, and then other times it goes to shit basically. But I think Gully's definitely like one of our better maps. So it was straight away, instantly, just creature comfort kind of thing, because like we've not been scrimming many maps. We've only been scrimming 2 maps pretty much for like the last month. So it's nice and like refreshing to play something different. So I think everyone was sort of in the mood to play it.
I think that's a really really good point, actually, just being in the mood. Speaking of being in the mood, what do you guys thought of this this ESL Cup? And if it happens again, are you guys going to sign up?
I have thoughts on it. Like, I think the biggest part about cups that people don't enjoy is that if you're a lower skill team and you get put against a prem team straight away, especially in this best of 1 situation, and you lose,
you just knock it, you're out. Yeah, there's no
like a waste of time.
Thing.
But also on the flip side, if you're a top team and you're playing these cups, it feels like a waste of time to roll lesser skilled teams for like the first 2.5 hours, and it feels like a waste of time equally. So if I would do it, I don't know if this is possible, but I would take the teams that we know have already placed well in the previous cup and put them so they're starting later, and then have more like lower skilled teams play each other out and to work their way up into this into a stage where other people are already playing, so you don't have the situation of people who have already played or like good teams playing against bad teams for a longer time, and you don't have bad teams just going out straight away to a prem team.
I think that's a really good point. Maybe having 2 separate days. I know then it wouldn't be a 1-day cup, but having the idea of having like almost like how LANs have been done, having like an invite bracket and then having a
that's what
open.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of had in my mind. But I don't know who agrees with it. I just literally thought about this like 10 minutes ago.
Cadus, Tiger?
Yeah, I agree. Like, there's not much. I mean, unless you had so many teams where you could have different divisions, like in TF2, like, you'd have a different cup for each division. But I very much doubt that many teams will sign up for that to be a thing. So I think having sort of like seeds that actually mean something, like the seeds in this kind of meant something, I guess. Like you were split, I suppose. But I think having you start maybe further on into competition, like into the semi or something like that, have the cup, like the main brunt of the cup for the lower skill teams to fight it out, and then put them against like the top teams in Europe, I guess.
Yeah. Well, what we could actually do, is shall we have a little discussion with actually one of the ESL admins, and like we'll just talk about how the cup went, because I feel like it was a really good cup to watch, and we can toss some ideas across for a little bit, and then we'll wrap things up. So, welcome, Mitch.
Hello.
Hailing from
Good to be
Australia.
on EU prime time. Yeah. It's currently 7 a.m. in the morning.
Good
I'm
morning.
now dead. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
worth it for some Team Fortress 2, though.
What time did we start for you?
Yeah, it must be like 2
12
a.m.
a.m. Well, actually, no. I woke up and I was an hour early. I thought that we were starting at 3 p.m. Central, and I came a bit early.
Oh god,
Yeah,
unfortunate.
gotta love coffee.
Well, I didn't
But,
get to play, but luckily Eames and the other people joining me have been able to play. And so, moving forward with this idea, did you get to hear the idea that Slentus spat out, Mitch?
No,
Toast.
I was sort of.
What I said was that the two biggest things that deters like people from adding up is like when lower skilled teams are put against higher skilled teams straight away, and then higher skilled teams having to roll lower skilled teams for the first 2 hours of a cup. So I just suggested that based on like the previous cups, for like where teams came in the previous cup, you would like start them later on and have the lower skilled teams kind of play each other to like earn the spot to play like later on. So like you don't have prem teams rolling teams to the first 2 hours, and you don't have lower teams getting rolled for the first 2 hours as well. And you kind of, I don't know if it's possible or anything, but
we definitely saw the issue that people were getting rolled, especially in the round of 32, the first round. We're gonna look at options. We might do a double limb at this stage, but
One thing
I'll personally call out though that the seeding was my fault on my behalf.
it's okay.
But we're gonna look at it this time, and we'll be asking for people's opinions. We'll post a poll out on TFTV, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah,
like one part of Slenta's suggestion is maybe just having like how a land's done. So have an invite bracket that will get through to like this single elimination section or double elim, and then have like just a like 3 spots available, 4 spots, 2 spots, like a certain amount of spots available that all the open bracket have to fight for in like single elims. Like that could be an option.
My suggestion was to run a Swiss and then take the top 4 out of that and put it into a quick playoffs. But
that could be. Yeah, I think the best thing is to make sure that not only is it good for the viewers, but the people actually playing the tournament.
I think
the problem with Swiss is that there is no grand final. Like, there's definitely some good pros about it, but
I think you could do a Swiss for like the lower teams, like and just put and then take like the top 4 from the Swiss that starts earlier than the rest of it. So then like the prem teams just start in the playoffs, like where they already
Yeah, I think in the long term, though, we might be heading for something else. The main point here is that we need to make sure that ESL are happy with having Team Fortress 2 on their plate. So I will try and make it optimal for everybody. But I think the main thing is just trying to push TF2 into ESL. And then we might be able to do more with that, like leagues and medals are on the way, I believe.
Yeah, I really liked the system for pick banning. Like it was very like you could just do it and then leave it and wait for them to do it. It's very easy.
It's good. Yeah.
So what I'll say from there is, Mitch, is there anywhere that any viewers or anyone that's participated can leave any suggestions or start up a discussion or let you know what they think of the tournament so far?
Yeah, so literally after the stream ends, I'll go and write up a new form and I'll get people's opinions on that all. Definitely just post on the ESL TF2 Discord or on TFTV if you've got any suggestions.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Mitch, and thank you to ESL for running this cup. I'm going to be moving on to shout-outs now, so that was part of my shout-out as ESL, but I'm going to take it through the list. I'm going to start on you, Cadus. Give us some shout-outs.
Shout out to my team. Shout out to you guys for casting and making the tournament. Shout out to Ascent, and shout out to my stream boys.
And yeah, Mitch, you can have a shout out.
Alright, shout out to Critscast for joining us and casting this today. The first ESL Cup in 7 years. Shout out to ESL, of course, like huge claps to them for even putting this on. And shout outs to all the competitors who joined the Cup today.
Wonderful. And now on to you, Celentus.
Shout out to Ascent, shout out to Se7en for the game, shout out for you guys for casting, shout out to ESL for getting involved with TF2 again, and shout out to Credu, who wants me to let everyone know that his mental health is severely damaged from Tiger's comments on Process. Thank you.
And funnily enough, to you, Tiger. Got anything to say for yourself?
Yeah, shout out to Se7en, shout out to Ascent for the games. Pretty much the same as Sil, minus the Credu bit.
Oh, wonderful. And Eemes, have you got anyone?
Shout out to Swift for having me back, and Going Camp for just because, and shout out to the teams for playing a good game. And yeah, that's it. Shout out to you, Grumpy, and Wiethoofd.
Well, I'll take some shout-outs now and lead us off. So I just want to say again, thank you to ESL and Critscast for covering and hosting this tournament. Shout out to everyone who's played. Shout out to you guys who are watching it. And if you haven't got a team already, there may be an opportunity if you're new to have a bit of fun and play some TF2 and get interested into the game. So I want to say thank you, everyone. And also, actually, just before I do that, one quick mention is the casters before us, Eckstein and Lucky. Thank you to them. And yeah, we're going to head off. So this has been Critscast. We've been doing the ESL 6on6 EU Community Cup, the first one. Hopefully there's going to be many more. GG and bye-bye.
Hi, old beaver! Away!